Woo! My new, to me, 2013 Victory. What do you think of it, Dad?
It's pretty damn nice. Showroom shape. It's even got a burger alarm, don't it?
No, that's for a battery tender.
Oh.
So you can plug it in and keep the battery charged.
He didn't give you that?
Nah, because I bought it from the motorcycle shop. He might have had it at his house, but it wasn't at the bike shop, and we didn't know about it until I got home and seen it this morning.
The way it's blinking, it seems like it'd be a...
It's hooked to the battery. It's just letting you know it's on there. But he probably wanted the tender for his other bike anyway.
Oh, yeah.
I've got one. I'll put it on.
It'll fit this?
I don't know if it's the same plug, but I have a tender I can put on it. It's not too bad for 66,000 miles. At least he took care of it, that's for sure.
Not too bad for what it cost you.
Yeah, I'll say. It's definitely cheap, y'all. That's how I do. But here's the issue. Two issues. Clutch is slipping and starter. So she won't start up right now. I gotta take the cover off and fix it. The gear, there's one-way gear that goes bad in them. So anyway, that's my new to me 2013 cross country. Okay now folks, sorry if I run my mouth a little too much, but I want to give the background on what's going on here so you can get a better understanding why I'm doing it the way I am. And just mainly the video is going to be showing you how to do it. You can buy new parts, of course. It's probably the only situation you're going to be able to do is buy new parts. But me personally, I'll show you in a second. I'm going to be using a couple used items. I'm not a Victory professional or nothing. Matter of fact, Lee, this is all your damn fault. I'm going to blame it on you, Lee. I'm telling the wife this is your fault too for buying this. I didn't even know what Victories were probably a year or two ago till I met Lee and he turned me on to them. I always been riding my Harley and stuff like that. Well, actually, I grew up riding Jap bikes because I was always a crotch rocket guy, you know, and now that I'm older, I don't ride like I used to. So I started getting into cruisers the last 5-6 years. Well, actually 8 or 10 years. So anyway, I've got a 08 Jackpot down there in the bike shop. And I just went and got this 2013 cross country Tour. I'm sorry. This is the Tour model because it does have the trunk. Got the heated seats. Got the heated grips. Got these lower fairings here, and of course you can open up the vent and stuff in the summertime. Cruise control, stereo, pretty much everything. It's got these added on handles here, you know. It's got a lot of options that come from the factory, but matter of fact, it's got this little trim panel piece there. I'm probably going to take it off and throw it on my Jackpot because this don't really need the chrome. I mean, there's not a lot of chrome on the bike anyway as far as that. Not like the Jackpot is, so... Anyway, regardless, what we're going to do, let me show you what it's doing here. So if you've got a Victory, and it will not start, and it just does this. Hit the start button. It's not engaging. No bueno, no start. So some people are like, oh, just jump it off. It doesn't work like that, folks. There's nothing wrong with the starter itself. What's wrong is inside here, there's a bearing. A torque limit bearing, and it's a one-way style bearing, and they can go bad. And with 66,000 miles on it, that's what happened. Now, as you can see, I feel like the bike was very well taken care of. I got a good deal, I think, because unfortunately I couldn't hear it run, but talking to the owner, he seems legit, and I believe him on his story and all. The clutch started slipping, and then the starter, little by little, it's getting progressively worse, and now it will not start at all. So I picked the bike up for $3K. Feel like I got a good deal. While I was there, I drove 4.5 hours to get the bike in Georgia. Then I've been watching this motor. It's a 100 cubic inch. Somebody had it on Marketplace too. It was over in Alabama, about another 2.5 hours from where the bike was. And I've been watching it. I said, man, I'm not going to drive all the way 6.5 hours just to get the motor. But if I'm ever over that way, picking up stuff like I do, I'm just like that, y'all. I always go buy stuff, and I try to get as much as I can in one trip to make it really worth it. So I went over and got this for $275 cash. I said, what the hell, less than 300 bucks, I might as well take my chance. It's supposed to be a good running motor, but of course we couldn't verify that. And it had the cover and everything on. I took it off because I wanted to go ahead and take this one apart first, because I'm not a professional, I'm learning. But God gave me the talents, thank you Jesus, to where I can work on anything. I really don't care what it is. I can work on it all. So anyway, I took this apart, and this is the bearing. I'm keeping it on here because I don't want to spin it the wrong way. I want to keep the inside to the inside because that is already wore from spinning whatever direction it's been. Took the clutch plates out. The plates look like brand new. So I got them in the box where they're going to stay clean. I took them all out in order and laid them in there face down to where I'm going to take them and put them right back in on that one over here. So the little pads on the friction discs still look like brand new. The metal plates, no discoloration, no wear or anything on them. So I think we're good to go. And I did, before I took this off last night, I took and just hooked up a battery on the floor and jumped the starter. The motor spins over great because I wanted to make sure it wasn't locked up or nothing. Has good compression, it sounded like. It let me know that the bearing is good because it was spinning it all good. Now, this is the torque limit bearing. That's the most common thing. But there is also, coming off the starter, it drives another gear assembly. It's in here that drives this little gear, that drives this big one. But anyway, this little gear inside here is like a clutch pack. It's got clutch discs in it. That can go bad too, but chances are it's this bearing. It's a lot more common. So what we're going to do, sorry for running my mouth, y'all. I'm just filling you in on the story. If you want to see how this is done, stick around. I'm still going to show you. And like I said, I probably wouldn't recommend using used parts, but I want to drive the bike and make sure that I even like it and that the motor runs good and whatever. And matter of fact, I'm probably going to, I don't like how the shifter is so loose. Now, I know that's over here. I've got new bushings and stuff that he gave me with it to go in here. But even this arm, I mean, it's just so floppy. These little Heim joints cost us $66,000 on it. And I'm not sure about this mechanism inside there, but this other bike has it all in nice shape. So I'm probably just going to swap all of it, even the little shifter piece with these Heim joints. I mean, they are tight. So I'm going to put all that on this motor, and that way it'll get it shifting good and everything. So stick around, and let's go ahead and get this baby tore down. I did want to mention, first thing I did was I come over here and I loosened up the tension on the cable to where I could go ahead and pull it out over here on this mechanism. Now this one does have the easy lever pull already installed. That's an aftermarket piece. And I just took the cable out of it. You can just pretty much push this over far enough like that and unhook the cable. Now, if it's the stock short one, you probably got to take like some channel locks or something and grab it and pull it, because you probably won't be able to do it with your hand. But this one being the easy pull, it's long enough, I can do it. And then again, I'm hoping nothing's excessively wore in there, but that's your first step. And the other thing was, see, when I went and got the bike, first thing I did, of course, was jumped on it to test everything out, like I'm riding it, feeling everything. You're going to get on and give her everything a squeeze and blah, 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 hit the shifter. And this clutch lever was completely solid. I could not move it at all. There was no slack, and you want a little slack in there like this. It should just flop around to where when this cable's hooked up down here, you can move it a little. And it was so tight, it was actually pulling this arm over a little. That will prematurely wear any clutch out, so you do not want it like that. Anyway, let's get this tore down. All right, another little thing. I'm scared, but I'm going to do this anyway. I see people laying them all the way over on their side. You're supposed to be able to lay it down because it'll be protected by the metal, the guards, but I don't really have enough room here in shop. And so what I'm doing is I just got a 4x4 chunk under this one. I stuck some blocks of wood under this one. And I've got her leaning over, folks. She's leaning that way. I gave her some shakes. Seems to be good. I hope and pray she does not fall, because there's going to be a bunch of damage. So anyway, let's get to it. And again, you can do everything at your own risk. This is entertainment purposes only, y'all. If anything happens, you damage something, you get yourself mangled or decapitated or who the hell knows, don't try to hold me responsible. All right, folks. Sorry for all the talking. Like I said, that's just me sometimes. I run my mouth, but I did want everybody to get an understanding of the background of the bike, what's going on. And so now what we're going to do, and let me mention, if any time throughout the video you hear me just bust out and start crying, it's because it fell or something. So let's hope and pray that don't happen. But so what we're going to do first, go ahead and get this running board off of here. See what size. In fact, while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to go ahead and undo the shifter linkage right now because it's going to come off with the footboard. So let me go ahead and get this broke loose, little 10 millimeter right here. So this is the little stem bolt that you remove, and there's a lot of junk on it, to be honest. I don't like seeing that, but now this should come out. Ooh, man, that's bad. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. There is a lot of shit on there. I hope and pray that's clutch disc material, but I really don't know yet. All I know is that oil looks nasty. Nasty. Not what I wanted to see, y'all. Alright, this one's definitely a short one beside the shifter. I haven't pulled another short one yet. Maybe it's this one. No, I've already got that one out. So maybe there's only one short one. Somebody had that one pretty tight because this piece of metal trim on the top there that uses two of these bolts to hold it. So not all the bikes have this. This is just an accessory that he bought to make it look good. Set this over to the side. Like I said, that might go on the jackpot. Because I'll tell you now, the jackpot's loaded with chrome and polished aluminum. So it'll benefit on that better than this bike. Alright, so I've got all the bolts out. Now the primary cover is ready to come off. There is a wire here because the stator is inside here and it's going to come out with it. Now if you want to take some more stuff apart and get to the wire, that's fine. I'm going to put something here and just pull it off, and it's got enough slack I can lay it here. Of course, you don't want to be scratching it up and all that good stuff, but I think we'll be all right. So now I'm going to try to get this off. Popped there. Trying to do this without tearing the gasket because, to be honest, I don't feel like waiting on it to get here. I just want to put these parts in and get it running where I can drive it. It only takes, as you can see, no time at all if I wasn't running my damn mouth. Don't take that long to get the cover off. I'll come back and put another gasket on it later. I'm just trying to get this one without tearing it if I can. Now I can already see this one's got a lot of silicone where somebody must have reused it. Obviously they had it off. So I'm going to try to, now up front it's kind of held on by the magnet of the stator going over the flywheel. So let's see if we can get this. Try to just watch your fingers in between there. Don't let it pop back. I'm just trying to do this carefully because I'm trying to save the gasket if possible, so I can just be able to ride it and check it out. Now, I don't know if it's going to work or not until I get it off. Let's see what we can do. Might have to stick this in the hole here. Again, I'm trying to get the gasket off without tearing it. It's hung on the little dowel pin down here. Besides that, it came loose from the motor. There we go. Now I'm just going to pull this. Like I said, I'm just going to kind of pull it over like this and lay it out of the way. Yeah, I don't like it pulling on that thing so bad. Shit. All right. Not very happy so far, folks. This motor is really a mess inside here. Not impressed with that at all, especially after taking the parts motor apart and seeing how damn clean it was. But I guess it's what it is. It is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. I am's what I am's. So anyway, I'll show you what we got here. All right, so I'm not happy with how nasty this is. I'm gonna have to hold that up and spray it out real good with some brake cleaner. And yeah, not happy. That's a lot of buildup sediment bullshit. Nasty, God almighty. So anyway, what we're gonna do now is I guess I'll go ahead and pull the, actually, I'm gonna hit the starter real quick. Let's see what this does. Let's see if she spins. Nope. You see the gear in the back? You see that? I know for sure now that this is the issue, the bearing behind it. It's not the little one over here, I hope. I guess it's probably got some wear on it too. But we're going to hope, pray that one's all right. And I'm obviously going to have to run some oil in it. I'm just going to change the oil, run it maybe 400 or 500 miles, and then change it again. And we'll go from there and see, you know, if it flushes it out some, because this is a nasty mess. All right, so next what we're going to do is there's an inner snap ring holding this assembly, and then there's an outer snap ring right here that holds the actual clutch basket, the outer assembly onto the basket. So I'll try to do this one-handed. I don't know if I can. Ring out, set it down here on a rag where it stays, not that it's clean, but we're going to take this out. Now, this can only go back in one way as far as, there's another snap ring right there. See that? You take that little ring off, this center will push right out. And make sure that you see that this is the outside here. This one's a little different. It does have a bigger ring on the inside here, so you know that's going to go back to the inside when you put it all back together. But I want to mention, I don't know how good you're going to be able to see this. Okay, let me get a pick here so I can try to show you. So, on this assembly, when we compress it, as you can see, there is a snap ring right here. Trying to get it to focus. Alright, not sure how good you can see this. Sorry, I'm just using the phone. But this is the snap ring, but there is a ring on the inside here that will not let the snap ring come down out of the grooves and compress. until we push this in, take all the load off, and then this ring here, we need to push it in a little bit so the snap ring will have room for it to compress in like this. Then this will come out, lay it to the side. So now we're going to take this, put this back through here. We need to lock this in with the clip again. The snap ring. Make sure it fully seats in the groove because we're going to be putting some pressure on this baby, pushing this in. Now, that's just a bolt I had laying around the shop, and this is all just stuff I'm making up. This is an old balancer piece, cup for a wheel balancer, and we're going to use this. I just found some stuff laying around the shop. Like I said, you could try to make something or you could try to buy something. Whatever works for you. Put some play in there now. I'm going to see if I can show you real quick what we got going on here. So once again, this is tricky to see, but we're going to undo that ring in there. Now we've got play. You can see the whole thing is moving. I've got tension off that ring, so let me see if I can get it out. All right, so bear with me while we take her out. Take my vice grips out. I was only using the vice grips to hold this center bolt while I tighten the nut. Now my homemade puller has it pulled back. I've got to push that little ring inward so the snap ring will compress. But I've got to move that little ring first to push it in. All right, got her to pop. I just had to force the son of a gun out of the groove. I couldn't use the snap ring pliers, but now she'll come apart like that. Lay it over out of the way there. Wow. Those clutch discs look really good. Well, I don't know if they look really good, but they look better than I thought they were going to. And kind of shocked on that. But seeing how damn dirty this oil is and see, I don't know if they're running synthetic or what they got in there. Me, personally, I'm not a full synthetic guy. I know a lot of people are. But if you've only got 20 or 30,000 on the bike, you really don't know yet. You got to put some miles on it like this. Get up in that 60, 80, 100 range. And then you're really going to, you don't know. It's a chance. So it went in like that. And they are totally different. But the same. That's a hard one. I don't know. I might could take these out, clean them up real good with brake clean, and put it all back together, and it might be fine, especially because I'm going to actually adjust the clutch where it was not adjusted before. So let me go ahead and just start getting these out. Now, since I got the bike leaned over, it's making them a little trickier to get out. If I had it sitting over this way, which I probably need to, it would come out a little easier, I think. I'm going to go ahead and pull this off real quick and get the bearing out. I'm going to put the kickstand down, lean the bike this way, get the rest of the plates out, and clean this real good with brake clean and let it run into a pan because I don't like this anyway. So let's go ahead and get this off. What we're going to do is zip this bolt off. And then I just went and bought the drain plug from O'Reilly had it. As a matter of fact, it's an M20 by 1.5. Just screw it in. $17mm on the outside here. I'm just going to zip it snug. Right there. Look at the end of it. It's got just enough room, hopefully, to make it pop. There she went. I didn't know that it was going to work on this one. The other used motor popped off pretty easy compared to this one. But the threads still look good, so we can use that plug again later if we need to. But so we're just taking that off. Does have a keyway with a key there. Set this over to the side. Oh, little gun fell over. Then we got a ring right here, snap ring type of thing. Take the ring off. Now we slide this outer gear off. It does have this washer. Keep it the right way. Don't drop it. I'm just looking at the inside here. I want to make sure there's no grooves or eating up excessive wear. It appears to be okay. Just dirty from the nasty oil, which is probably causing all this to start slipping in the first place. Now we're going to pull this bearing out with a pick, little by little on each side. Try to pull it out somewhat evenly. There's our bearing removal. All right, can't believe I'm having to do this, but I opened the shop all up, put the fan on because I leaned the bike this way and I pulled the drain plug and let all the oil out. It is so nasty. So, of course, that made it a lot easier. The clutch plates just came right out. Now the clutch plates are out. The flywheel's off with the bearing out for the starter. So I'm going to spray everything and let it all run out. Daggone nasty mess. So, got her all cleaned out as good as I can for now. Took my other parts over to the parts washer and cleaned everything up real good. It had so much sediment on it, I can't even explain. I can't believe it, man. So anyway, the two bearings, you can see, let me see if I can show you here the difference in them. See if it'll focus. This is the old one. See how they're all slanted sideways? They're not roller bearings like I was thinking. They just more or less turn a little and jam the two wheels together. And as you can see, this one, they're nice and straight. See how straight those are? Even the little holder in between them, this one's all crushed and let them go sideways, and this one is not. They're nice and straight. So that's the difference in them. This one's definitely toast. And this one, even though it's used, looks great. So I'm putting it in. We're going to ride with it. Because I still don't know the condition of this motor. I have not heard it run. I was taking a chance. Now I'm putting this in. I watched when it came out of the used motor. I know which way it's been spinning, so I'm putting it right back in the correct way again. I don't want to have it. It's already used to spinning that one direction. I don't want to change that. Now we're going to pop this one on. Okay. We've got our washer that goes on, that big flat washer, and we've got our clip. I have to tap that in a little. There it went. Now I can see the groove. It wasn't all the way in. Now she's seated. So I'm going to take a flat washer and then the ring. Okay, there we go. She's in. So now we're going to take our flywheel, which I've cleaned up in the parts washer. Still trying to get some of this last sediment and residue out. Line up the keyway with the slot there. Yep. Because if you don't have the keyway lined up, it won't let it go at all. It has to drop like that on it. I'll have to find the torque specs on this. Torque it before I put the cover on. Just going to hit it like that for now. Let's try the starter. I already know that's going to work, but let me just try it. Now, I did drain the oil, so I don't want it to start or nothing, but oh yeah. Okay. As you can see, she was spinning. It's what we want, y'all. It's what we want. But again, I drained all the oil, so I can't start it until I run to the store. But now it's time to go ahead and put the clutch in. This is your small plate. And that one's going to go in there first. Let it go all the way in. Now on these, there's a flat one, and then there's a little bit of a bow to this one. We want it with the bow out, and it creates a little bit of spring to it. So we're going to put the flat one first, the cupped one with the cup out. Then we're just going in with these. Trying not to, I got them on a bag because I don't want them getting dirty. They're still coated in oil from the other engine. So then if we get a metal plate, we get a fiber plate, metal plate. You just keep fluctuating them like this. Now, like I said, there is a certain way. There's supposed to be a sharp edge and a sharp and a bevel, but I'm going to be honest, I can't feel it. I just know the way I took them out. So when you're putting your brand new clutch kit in, hopefully it'll show you in the instructions which side is which. I guess that's the flat. All right, so I went over and I looked because I see that's not just a nice flat surface like the one off the 100 is. That should act like another pressure plate, metal plate. And that must be why they have a different part number. So this one having the long up and down discs on the friction plate isn't going to work with this pressure plate. It needs these long... needs these long skinny ones. Now I could leave this last disc and put this 100 plate on, or I can just put one of the 106 plates in on the outside here and just use the stock plate that was with it. I guess that's what I'm going to do. Just going to clean this one real quick. All right, so they are a hair different. The pressure plate's a little different on the 106 compared to the 110. So I'm going to put this original plate back in just on the outside one, the last friction plate that rides up against the pressure plate there. It should be fine. Okay, now we're going to place this on. All right, so I had to go make a new tool, y'all, and I'll show you why in a second here. But the new tool, I was fighting with the other tool to try to get the ring back in. I could not get the pressure plate set in enough to make room here for the groove. I want to show you with the right tool, or at least it's the one I made, how easy I can take the ring just in and out with a screwdriver pretty much. So you can take the ring out like that. And this is the safety ring. That's the one that locks it. So what you do is you make sure the plate is pushed all the way on like so. Slip this safety one in all the way back. Because when you let everything out, it surrounds this one on the inside, and it goes inside of this one and will not let this compress to come out of the groove. So what I'm going to do is start this end down here at the bottom and just work it around like this with my fingers. Just pop it right in. So simple. I sat there fighting that shit because I had the wrong tool made up. What a difference using the right tool, I tell you. What a difference. So now I'm just going to lock my vice grips right here. You can see how much play because I got the little outside pressure plate completely collapsed. So now we just undo this and let everything seat. Pretty simple when you got the right tool. Now, again, you can buy your own, of course. This is just something I made up real quick. Took me about 15, 20 minutes. 20 minutes probably because I had to get the welder out now and cut these bolts. I just used some bolts. This was a thin piece of metal I had. I don't even know. It was like a hook for one of the brake lathes, like on the pegboard for the attachments. And you don't want it to sit right on these lips. It needs to be as close this way to them as you can around this edge here. The cup I was using was real big and it was out here. So it was not close enough and it wasn't pushing this in. I didn't realize. I was picturing this working almost like like the good old ones with all the springs and nuts around, bolts or whatever around them, like any other clutch. This is the only one I've ever seen like this. And that's why Lloyd's or whoever makes the performance one that you change the whole basket and you go to the normal style. I've never seen nothing like that. That's a pretty weak design. So anyway, that works when you make up a tool like that. Just make sure the circle part is as close to these as possible, and it makes it so easy. So now we're going to take this back out. Oops, of course I got my snap ring pliers the wrong way for this one. Let's do it like this so it'll squeeze them. So we're going to take this out. We're going to take the bolt out that I'm using for my puller, and I'm going to keep that in case I got to do this again. I'm going to be messing with Victories, so I'll probably be doing it again. Now we're going to take this one and stick it back through, making sure we go in the right way. This is the back side. And now I got to get the little small ring for the front here. Get this one to lock on. Change my pliers again, snap ring pliers. Probably should have went and grabbed a smaller set needles. Make sure the ring is in the groove locked. It is. So now we're good to go on that. And we're going to put this back in here. Change my pliers again. And take the big ring. Now we're going to lock this into place. Again, making sure it seats in that ring. You want to make sure when you're playing with snap rings, they get in that groove, y'all. Make sure it's in that groove. So I'm going to put my puller back together because I'm keeping this around. As rudimentary as it is, it sure does work. Holy crap, it works so good like that. All right, so that's the main parts done now, y'all. We've got the starter gear put in, so it starts. We got a good, fresh clutch. I'm not going to say new, but I know by looking at it, that's going to be a good one. And I can see the safety ring that I've been talking about to hold this other snap ring from coming out of the basket. It's in place now that the pressure plate is pulling out. So we're good to go, y'all. It's time to get the cover back on. I did clean the primary cover out as good as I could. I think I am going to change that shift arm though. The one that's in the plate down there. Right, that one there. I'm going to change that arm with the one out of the other motor because it's definitely lower mile. Okay. Put a little brake clean on the end of the rag here. I'm just hitting this surface. Make sure it's oil free. It looks good, clean, but want to make sure there's no residue on it. Now I am about to do something. You're about to see me do something I do not recommend. You need to buy a new gasket. But I am just reusing this one for now. I cleaned it up. I don't feel like waiting on one right this minute. I just want to check this bike out. And just changing this gasket is not a big deal. I can do this later at any time. I just want to run some fresh oil through it and flush the motor out and stuff and check and see if it even runs and rides, because like I said, it's definitely not as well taken care of as I thought it was or supposed to be. I did change the little shifter assembly. I'm going to try to get that lined up on there first. Looks like I need to come in behind that. watching my fingers that I do not get them crushed by the magnet. Get that out of there. Now the gasket is sitting on the dowels. Right, now she's on. Gasket's in place. See where my short bolt is. There it is. I know the short one goes down here beside the shifter, so I'm going to put it in first. Just going to go around and get them, just make sure they're starting to thread. Not even running them down yet. I just want to get them started on the threads. Alright, so those are all run down. Now I'm going to come back and torque them. I got to look up the spec though, I'm not sure. I cleaned up the shift rod real good. So I'm not going to bother changing it with the other one because there's really no wear or anything on it. Now I need to put it in, and I think I got to set the angle about like right in this area. Yeah, that should be good. I might have to go another tooth. No, I don't want to do that because, yeah, I think we'll, yeah, I'm going to leave it like that. I got to put the little pin in to hold this clutch mechanism in. Tell you what, I'm going to do a clutch adjustment real quick before I put this on in case I have to move that again. So actually I'm going to hit that clean. I'm going to put that a little bit of Vaseline on there. Put a little on down here at the bottom and up there at the lever. Just a little coat on there. I guess you don't want too much because you don't want it attracting dirt and holding dirt in there. Just going to put a little right there on the end of the cable. This is like a plastic coated cable, so it don't really have to be lubed. But since it's got this extended piece, it puts the cable at a little bit of a angle there. And so it ain't coming straight out the middle anymore. It kind of rubs the side of the housing. So maybe that'll help protect it. Alright, so I went ahead and adjusted my clutch. And I left a little bit of play here. You want a little bit of free play. I would like a little bit more. But unfortunately, with these... oh, my little light went out. I have to recharge it. But... with these extended easy pulls or whatever they're called, you don't get as much throw. And so these have to be adjusted really nice. And that's why I kept reading or hearing about people burning their clutches out with these. And, you know, you've only got, you know, you don't have as much adjustment now because that is so long. You're still using the same cable and same lever and same clutch inside here. You're losing adjustability to some degree. So I just want to have a little slack like this. And I think we'll be good. Because if you got a little too much slack, then the plates won't release enough and it'll make it hard to get it in the gear and stuff, especially first or finding neutral. So anyway, we'll just start with it right there. I know I don't have to take the lever arm out or anything like that, so I can continue putting the covers back on there. Got to go ahead and torque my bolts before I can put the footboard back on, and I'm going to change that. I'm going to go ahead and change these bushings in here because that's just too much slop. And, whoo, oh yeah, them little hind joints are shot, and I don't like all that play on that thing. All right, folks, here it is, the moment of truth. Now, I just put some Castrol GTX in it. That's perfectly safe for any bike. But, and I usually put 2050, but they was sold out. So I'm going to 1030. But all I'm doing is I just want to hear it run. I'm flushing the motor. I'm sure I'll ride it up and down the road. Maybe I'll put 30 or 50 miles or something on it. And then bring it back, you know, whatever. I don't have insurance, so I can't do it all in one day. Let's see if she starts. Then I'm going to drain that and flush it because, as you've seen, the motor oil looks bad. Here we go, y'all. Wish me luck. Cross your fingers. First try. Let me see if I can hear my baby start and run. Yeah! That's a little too tight. Now I see what he was talking about. Tell you what, I might get rid of this easy pull lever. I don't know how much I like that on there. Doesn't give you very much adjustment there. You don't have a lot of play area to be playing with. Now, I didn't tighten this yet with a wrench, so I can still spin it a little. Let's see what she does. Still trying to pull lightly, and there ain't a lot of room there. I like slack in my clutches, and this one's got me worried because it's already worn out one time. Yeah, see, that's already, all the play is gone. I don't like it. Can't get it in neutral. There we go. Yeah, I think I'm going to take that easy pull off there. I don't need it. I think it'll be easy enough anyway. At least it runs. Let me go get something to eat, and then I'll take that easy pull off. All right, folks, we got her all running, and I did take the easy pull off the clutch, and that made a difference. I'm telling you, now I got it adjusted where I want it. And it's doing good. I got some play in it, but it's shifting good through all the gears. take it for a little ride here.
Did pretty good for my $3,300 cross country tour. Not bad.
All right, so that's it, folks. She's all finished up. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you learned a little something or you like what you've seen, how about give me a thumbs up, please? And I hope you hit that subscribe button. Help this little channel to grow. We always doing something different around here at Vast Motorsports. You never know what we're going to be into. I don't care what it is, I fix them all, y'all. Have a blessed day.